Okay, what's going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on? I'll tell you what's going on.
Wow.
I will tell you what's going on.
Wow.
It is BRODNY''s
That's
birthday.
not what I was gonna say.
Yes, y'all. Yes, it is. It is that guy's birthday right there. BRODNY'S birthday. Happy birthday, B.
Thank you.
Yes,
what I was going to say was thank you to Anonymous for the donation to start off the show.
That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you. Anonymous says happy 28th birthday, BRODNY. Well, you know.
You got that wrong. He said 28th, but yeah, it's a little more than that, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Shout out to you. Oh, look, the chat is here. They're ready. Big Reg is in the house. Says, what's good, everybody? Thanks for coming through. Top Billing says, what's up, y'all? Been waiting all week for this one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Top Billing. Davon's in the house. Says, gonna be a great show. Of course, man. Devon. Is it Devon or Davon? We have a Davon in the house. I think it's Devon. Okay, Devon. Brandon's in the house. Says, what's up, y'all? What's up with you? Jay Rum said, what's up? Our homegirl Tracy says, happy holidays, my good people. Shout out to you, Tracy. Davon is in the house. Hashtag LBHT crew. And here come the birthday wishes. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you,
everybody. Appreciate it.
Yes. What's up, King 95? Thanks for coming through.
What's up, King?
Showcases in the house says, if Lamar doesn't come back for the Bengals game, does he play in the playoffs? Oh, that might be a topic for tonight's show. That might be a topic. Our guy Hendo's in the house from Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. Make sure you subscribe. Yes. Yolanda, what's up, Yolanda? She showed up for your birthday. That's what. Now it's a party.
Yolanda.
Now it's a party. Thank you, Yolanda. Thanks for coming through. Keenan Ricketts says happy birthday, B. Alfonso Richardson in the house says happy birthday. Okay.
Well, happy birthday to her as well.
Who?
He said his daughter his birthday is today. She's 4.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry, Alfonso. I was going too fast. Happy birthday to your daughter.
Yes.
That should be a fun party. Baby Ron says, what up, LBHT? Rivalry week. Give Tomlin his first losing season and eliminate Pittsburgh. Oh, man, listen. The Steelers are always tough no matter what. They're still in the playoff hunt, B.
Yes, they are.
I didn't realize that until today.
I don't think they're so much in the playoff hunt as they are in the make sure Tomlin doesn't have a losing season hunt. But yeah, they're still in it. Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Hendo for a $20 donation. Says happy birthday to my guy. Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Man. Darius Simmons is in the house. What's going on, Darius? Oh, we got another one. Okay. Davon with the $20 says, B, we appreciate you more than you know. Hey.
Thank you, Davon.
Oh, I miss Buck's tip. Buck had a tip that came in at the very same time. Buck donated says, love how the two people saying they win dynasty. Love how the two people. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut it up. I'm sorry, that's my fault. It says, love how two people saying they win dynasty league aren't in the championship. What?
I love how Buck gotta be the only one bringing some negativity today.
Shout out to Brandon Buck and shout out to our guy Ferris in our second. It's our first dynasty.
First in the dynasty league, but it's the second. For the league.
Yeah, second for the belt. Okay, one of them is coming home
with
the belt. Okay, shout out to you. Yes, thank you, Darius, for the birthday wishes. Suge Knight 323 says happy birthday, B.
Thank you, Suge.
Yes, Juan Sessions in the house. Thank you. MDT Sports is in the house. C Dubster is in the house. Marco G is in the house. MJ is in the house. He said he's gonna play hardball if you didn't show up. Yes, we're gonna be talking a lot of hardball today. Sharon says happy day, B.
Thanks for coming through, Sharon. Appreciate it.
DDSQ.
Yes.
Says, what's good, y'all? And he says, happy birthday. Man, look, the birthday love is coming through. Oh, Buck getting a little spicy here. I said what I said. Okay, Buck.
Fair's gonna whoop your ass, man.
What's up, Xavier? I was getting a quick shout out here. We got a lot to go over. T. Will Wilt says Lamar sweepstakes coming. They not playing $45 to $48 million, so Lamar can get hit and beat out another 7 games. Yes. And we got another donation from Noah. Shout out to you, Noah. Says,
thank you,
just
Noah.
Want to stop by and give a donation to my guys and wish my boy Brodny Ivans. He said your whole government name. Okay, well, it's in the credits. It's okay. Yeah. A very happy birthday. Much love and appreciation, fellas. It moved on me. And to the rest of the LBHT crew, y'all stay safe on New Year's. If you're going to be out drinking, please. Yes. Hashtag LBHT crew for life. Appreciate you. Noah. Thank you, Noah. Thank you so much for that. Man, out the gate, you guys are showing love, man. Appreciate y'all. Okay. Now we don't even have the overlay up. Look, in case you guys are wondering, there are new people in here. First of all, we are streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. All right. So wherever you're watching, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. If you're listening to this, to the audio portion of this, it would be Thursday at lunchtime. So hopefully your lunch is going well. If you're wondering how people are making these donations and getting Microphone Man to give the raised fist, there are 2 ways you can do that. That's how we do our super chat here. Okay. The first way is right below $, LBHT show. That's the Cash App. The other way is the pin link that you see in the chat box that will take you to our stream elements. Both ways, leave a donation, leave a comment, and you get a nice little animation right next to my face here. All right. Look, it's Steelers week. Okay. It's Bucks week for the Panthers nation. Panthers, both teams can win the divisions. Both teams can win these next 2 games and win the division. Will it happen? We'll see. Okay. All right. We're going to get into that. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B has a Black History fact for you.
Going to keep it real quick this week because I think we all know the most important thing that happened on this day in Black history was my birthday. But y'all know I'm more humble than that. I'm not going to take the center stage like that. So I do share my birthday with quite a few famous people. We got Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel. John Legend, who he does what he does. We got Maggie Smith, legendary.
It ain't what you do. It ain't what you do.
Seth Meyers, who I really can't stand. That dude is not funny at all. He is not funny at all.
Then why'd you even bring him up?
I'm sorry, Seth, but he's not funny at all. But no, I'm just looking at the list, paying out some names. But the biggest name on that list, Denzel Washington.
The
iconic actor who was actually part of Academy Award history back in 2002 when he won Best Actor for Training Day, right? So it was historic in a couple of ways. One, he's the first African American to win multiple acting Oscars, which is unbelievably ridiculous, but it was true at the time. He was the first one to do it. He won Best Actor for Training Day in 2002. He won Best Supporting Actor for Glory back in 1990. No other Black actor has won more than one Oscar for acting. But the other reason, he was part of the first Oscars event or Academy Awards to have both the Best Actor and Best Actress go to black actors. Do you know who the Best Actress was that year?
Halle
Berry for Monsters
Ball. I
remember.
remember.
You know why I always remember that? Because Denzel started his speech by saying 2 birds with 1 stone tonight.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of other roles he could have won that Oscar for, but they chose Training Day that year.
Yeah,
they were trying to make a point.
Yeah, like that was that was probably the worst best movies he made. Right, like
it was a really good movie. He was fantastic in it, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was good. I mean,
could have won for Malcolm X.
Probably. I mean, we still use those memes and gifs from that movie to this day. But yeah, Malcolm X, Hurricane, Flight.
Well, those were after, but still,
Hurricane wasn't after.
No, Flight was.
Flight was after.
Flight was after.
Malcolm X was before.
Yeah,
and Hurricane was before. Listen, but they should have given one for Flight. I thought that was a much better performance.
I wouldn't say it was a much better performance. I mean, I thought he was great in both, but he was a lot less likable in Flight. I'll tell you that.
Listen, he was a complete mess. That performance, I'd have given Don Cheadle the best supporting actor, even though he wasn't even in it that often. When he saw him at the end, he was so disgusted with him. Yeah. I was like, yes. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Way to get this started. What's going on, Callie? Callie, my move is. Thanks for coming through, man. Thank you so much. Zeke Hokage is in the house. What's going up, Zeke? On, Zeke? He said, "What's good, everybody? I hope y'all are having a great day. We are. Now that you're here. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Look, you guys cannot wait. What's up, Jess Allo? Jess Allo says happy birthday.
Thank you, Jess Allo. Appreciate you, man.
Mr. J the 6 is in the house too. Says what's going on.
What's up, Jay?
All right. Look, Ravens versus Steelers. We're gonna be a little structured here because we're gonna be all over the place. Okay. We'll just break down the game for a little bit, and then we'll talk about some of the things surrounding that. Wow. Oh, and Ben H coming through with the $50 donation says, "Happy birthday, B. Peace and blessings."
Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you so much. Yes, man. You guys are showing love today, man. Showing love. Really appreciate it. Yes. Okay. So, yes, there's a lot going on with the Ravens. Good news is we are in the playoffs. Okay. We clinched the playoff spot. We're playing the Steelers, who aren't a great team. We've beaten them already with a combination of Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown. Okay. That's good.
Yes.
And shout out to Jalen, who donated $25. Man, appreciate y'all. Says, happy birthday, B. Let's go, Panthers. Love y'all. Oh, is that Mr. J?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. J. You put your government name out there. All right. But yes. So, it feels good going with other games left, playing a team that we beat in their house. Right. Even without Lamar Jackson, you can feel good about the game. However, the Steelers have kind of figured some things out since the last time we beat them, especially in that run defense. And I think, look, these games are always going to be close. We beat them the last time. They could just as easily have beaten us, if we're being real. If you go back and look at it.
Well, if Mitchell Trubisky wasn't playing, they would have beaten you. He had 3 red zone interceptions. That is
no, just 2.
Disgusting.
Just 2.
No. Well, okay, so technically the third one wasn't a red zone interception, yes. even though it was intercepted in the red zone. Yes, they didn't start the play inside the 20, but the pass was in the red zone. So they were right there. If he wasn't playing, the Steelers would have won that game. Yeah. What's going on, Eric L?
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
What does that sound?
What's that?
It's like kind of a scraping sound.
Scraping?
Yeah.
That might be something on my table. Is it? You still hear it?
No.
Okay. All right. I apologize. I apologize for the poor audio. I just
professional.
There we go. Okay. Shout out to Coach for coming through. Coach, appreciate you. I'm gonna reference one of Coach's videos later on. Remind me to reference that. It has to do with that trainer who's the ops, Saunders.
Coach was like, "Yo, we're done with the round table for 2023. It's the holidays. We're gonna take a break." And he turned around and put out 50 videos.
Yes. Coach put out so many videos. He had to put out an editorial correction and apologize to his wife for misspeaking. Okay. I saw that one too, Coach. Well played, my friend. Well played. Yes. And there you are, Mikey. Yes, the break is Mike? Over, Mike. Where are you? We got some work to do, my friend. Okay. OTR Mike, open mic. OTR Mike will be coming back. Ring Kings will be coming back. You heard the news today. We might have to do a emergency stream or something. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Back to the Steelers game. So the last game, we got the W. I'll take it. But now Kenny Pickett is healthy. He might have developed a little bit of a connection with George Pickens. Mike Tomlin said on Christmas night that that was the game that they grew up. Okay. And it was a good comeback win. We'll see, man. They're not out of it. This Steelers team, coached by Mike Tomlin, is never out of it. It doesn't matter who's on that team. And they do have some talent that we have to worry about. So Lamar, is he coming back? It doesn't look that way. He hasn't practiced yet. And, we're going to talk about some of the things that has been floated out there on social media.
We are not on top of it. These are not Black History facts. All right, continue. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's my bad. I usually catch those things. But yeah, so I mean, B, what's your take? Chat, what's your take? Do we get this win and keep our hopes of the AFC North alive? We have to win this game. I think to but I mean, we don't have to. If the Bengals lose, we just got to beat the Bengals last week.
Yeah, then it's for the division in the last week. I thought that they were going to split with the Steelers. Even before the season started, and I thought that the Steelers would win at home, but obviously Kenny got hurt. Trubisky came in and did his thing, which ensured a loss. But if Lamar's not playing, I'm not sure that Baltimore is going to pick up the win this week. Really not. I think that Kenny Pickett, well, he's not obviously a great quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. I think he will make enough plays, and they've gotten Najee Harris going to a certain degree. They have Deontay Johnson, they have George Pickens, they have Pat Freiermuth, they have even Jalen Warren. They're a very, very talented offense, and I don't think that defense will be able to hold them to the requisite amount of points for Baltimore to get a win, because we know that Baltimore can't score a lot without Lamar, right? Yeah. You got to hold them essentially under 20. You have to. Yeah. I'm not sure that they'll be able to if Pickett is in there for the full game, or even if they bring in Trubisky, if he just doesn't do what he did the last time, right? Because how could you do that 3 times in a row? It's ridiculous. Hopefully he's learned from that, but. I think if Kenny is playing and he stays healthy, I think Pittsburgh gets the win.
Oh man, I had to think about it, right? Because look, I would like to think that we've improved a little bit. Huntley's improved a little bit from even that game. Maybe you do a couple of things differently. We're at home, and listen, until they stop the run, you keep running, and it doesn't seem like. Look, to their credit, this is to the Ravens' credit. It doesn't seem like the teams that they played so far since Lamar's been hurt can do anything to stop the run, and they haven't been bad defenses, right? The Steelers, I think, were ranked 3rd. I think against the run when we ran for like 200 plus yards.
I don't think they were ranked quite that high, but they had been kind of up and down a bit. Okay. They were ranked well, but they had been up and down a little bit. It doesn't seem real that Baltimore could just run on these teams with absolutely no pass threat, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see if they can do it again, because the other part of it too is that Baltimore tends to stop themselves in the run game. And that's something we've always said on here, why you don't build your team around a rushing attack, because offensive coordinators stop their own run games in the NFL. They won't stick to it.
This has always been our problem with how this team is built, and how people get on that narrative of this is what we do. We don't need a passing attack. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. We've seen it even in the games that we win. You see why it's needed, because even though we're running the ball with ease, we take ourselves out of it.
Yep.
Right. That's the thing that I don't understand, man. Like, we'll gash them for 20 yards. 15 yards, everything's going well, and then next thing you know, it'll be three passing plays for incompletions, and then we're punting or kicking a field goal. And it's like, do you not have red zone or goal line running plays?
No. Like Coach always says, it's like they have 2 run plays. That's it.
Yeah.
And once you get into the red zone, the field shrinks a bit. It's easier to defend, and it's harder for Baltimore to execute and score.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're a poorly coached team.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna read a couple of comments here. Yes, Coach, in reference to his apology video, he said, "I had to do that. Don't want to sleep with one eye open." I feel you, Coach. I feel you. Yes. Just Al says the break is over. The break is over. The break is over. Yes, I know that reference. Zeke Hokage says, I believe we can win, but it's gonna be an eyesore. Yeah. I believe we can win. For real. I believe we can win. it's just.
I forgot to factor in the arrival, Sammy Watkins, into. I completely forgot he was there. Pittsburgh wins. They just had to score more than 20.
I thought you were gonna say the arrival of Andy Isabella. We saw him.
Yeah.
He's there.
That receiving core is such a joke.
I mean, the weapon has been unleashed. So, all right. We're going to save the score prediction for later. But you got Pittsburgh. Let's see. Devon says yes, because Pickett looked like trash before he got hurt. He was getting beat up out there. Our defense has been playing really well. Yeah. Living Legend says Roquan, the chef, gonna slam whoever at QB. Yes. Yeah. Roquan has lived up to expectations since the trade. He's been doing everything we needed him to do, right? And he's gonna continue to ball out. But with all that being said, like, look, when we get the win, you remember the good things about the game. When you get the loss, you remember the bad things, forget the good things, vice versa, whatever.
And I do want to point out that Kenny Pickett played like one series before he got hurt in that game. So
did he play well? Like, did he play well?
He was 0 for 1, and he had a couple runs for what is this now?
0 for 1 is
a couple runs for 16 yards. So no,
what's the completion percentage on 0 completion?
Let me ask you how many first downs you get on 2 carries and 16 yards?
Is 0% good or trash?
It's not. Is 2 carries for 16 yards good or trash?
So. It's all right. Yeah, it's no J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's not a running back.
All right. So I am going to also pick the Steelers because so far,
shameful.
So far, yes, I will take all the boos and tomatoes, because every time I've been picking against them, they find a way to win. I'm not going to jinx it. Yes, I'm that guy. Okay, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm saying the Steelers win this game. And listen, man, look, you guys know how I feel about Mike Tomlin. I think he's the best coach in football. I'm sorry. I mean, they should not be in this position with Kenny Pickett. I just don't think Kenny Pickett is that good, for being honest. And you already know how I feel about Mr. Trubisky.
Well, I mean, look, Kenny Pickett's he's a rookie who was drafted in the 20s. It's not like you were expecting him to come in and be an all-pro in his rookie season.
No, but he hasn't been good.
No, but you don't expect most rookie quarterbacks to be good. Period. No matter what kind of prospect they are, no matter where they're drafted, you don't expect rookie quarterbacks to be good.
But solid first round picks. I do. I expect first round picks to be solid. Don't have to be great, but not bad. Not just flat out bad like he's been. He's been bad.
He has been bad, but you can't expect guys to come in and play in their rookie season and play well. It's not a thing that happens often at all.
All right, I gotta bring this up. Shout out to our guy Raven Ron for the $50 donation. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
It says, thanks to Jose's Nets covering the spread the other night. Roquan is about to knock the Sonic rings out of Pickett again. Oh, okay. There's 2 things here. Yes, thanks to the Nets for covering the spread the other night. Yes, shout out to the Nets. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Nets too. 9-game winning streak. That's right. Okay, and he said Roquan's about to knock the Sonic rings out of Pickett again. Also, Lamar is gone, y'all. We have a cheap owner and GM, and it doesn't help that we clinched without him on a 4th place schedule. So I don't think that means anything. Us clinching. Yes, I think. Let me take that back. They might try to use that as a narrative, saying, "Hey, we still won with Lamar hurt," but everybody sees how awful they look. Even the national media, is just dumping on this team. Okay, like they see how bad he looks, and Gregory Roman he makes an appearance. Man, Kenny Pickett watches our show. George Pickens watches our show. Mr. Trubisky watches our show, and now G-Ro has arrived. He found somebody snitched on us. Somebody said, "Hey, they talking about you over there." Shout out to G-Ro. G-Ro says, let me bring this up again. He says, "I understand the Ravens community questions my play calling, but don't blame me. John hired me, and said, do your thing, Greg. Whatever the norm is, do the opposite. So if I call QB draw on 3rd and 9 this Sunday, don't be mad. Have a blessed holiday. Have a blessed holiday. Hey, look.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Gregory.
Thank you, Gabriella. Appreciate it.
Man. No. So yes, they we're going to talk more about how they're
saying that Greg Roman is fire, and that's the only interpretation of that I want to hear.
So yes, they are definitely trying to spin a certain narrative, but it's just not working.
Oh man, I'm sorry, because I just saw Noah in here. I remembered I did want to give Noah a shout out during the Black History Fact, because also, I mean, this isn't really a Black History Fact, but it is something that happened on December 28th. December 28th, back in 2008, the Detroit Lions, Noah's beloved Detroit Lions, became the first team in NFL history to go 0-16. And furthering their cause for ruining another legend's career in Calvin Johnson, that led to them getting Matt Stafford and ruining most of his career until he left and immediately won a Super Bowl. But yeah, December 28th, 2008, they lost 31-21 to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to go 0-16. Congrats to the Detroit Lions.
Wow. I was going to say it for the Panthers portion of the show, but me and Noah also have a bet going on that the Panthers would make the playoffs before the Lions. Last week did not help his cause.
No.
Okay, so look, narrative spinning. Okay, that's what the Ravens are trying to do. Let's just bring up the other thing, the other banner. This is a great segue, Raven Ron, to what we want to talk about next, right? Yeah. Lamar Jackson, is he going to play again for the Ravens? Now, yes, I do believe, we all know what the game is. The Ravens have been trying to push a narrative about Lamar to get fan support, right? Mm-hmm. If you think that these teams don't care about what fans think, you're wrong, right? Like sometimes they don't care, like, but fans do have influence over decisions. Yeah. Especially something like this. This is a superstar that we're talking about. And they know not signing him will affect ticket sales, right? Jersey sales, things like that. It will affect their bottom line. So they're trying to get the fans on their side. So they've been leaking these stories about him all season long to try to have fans say, hey, well, if that's what you're going to be, then don't be here. But the problem is it hasn't been working. Nobody's picking it up. Even the national media, say for a couple of people, aren't really picking up on that, right? Or they kind of flip-flop. They might jump on it for a minute and then they're just like, well, look how bad the team is though, man. Like I saw Mike Greenberg just talk about Lamar's lack of weapons and he was disgusted, right? Just having to say the name. He's like, oh, I mean, you hear enough players in media now that recognize game and just say, hey, no, we're not, we're not going with that. So it hasn't been working, but that doesn't mean the Ravens are going to stop B. Okay. Yeah. So the latest thing is, and this started locally, right? And I see some tweets out there and I saw, shout out to Bobby Trossett for putting out this video. I watched the video, basically calling out this local radio host on 105.7. Here, shout out to Marco G. I'm gonna read that in a second, Marco. And your favorite crooked cop, Ed Norris, and Jeremy Kahn, where we're talking about Lamar. Is he gonna, he hasn't practiced. Is he gonna be back for the game? And the crooked cop said, well, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna play again, right? I don't know if he's gonna play here again. And this stems back from something Mike Preston said a while back. For those of you who don't know, Mike Preston is a lifelong just hater, right? He hates on everything. He loves the Ravens, but he hates every player on the Ravens, right? This goes all the way back to Ed Reed. You let him tell it. Ed Reed was just average, okay? Lifelong hater, but he had put something out, basically calling out Lamar, saying, "Hey, Lamar isn't, he's lazy. He needs to show up to practice. He needs to listen to trainers and this and that." So now this is kind of manifested to Lamar isn't showing up to the facilities to get treatment, right? He's kind of staying away from the team, right? Well, first of all, if that's true, that's a good thing. Okay. And this is where I want to reference Coach Evans' video on what's his name? Saunders. What's that trainer's name?
Saunders.
Yeah, Saunders, right? Saunders, I mean, he's lucky he hasn't been sued already for the way he's handled these players. He gets them, he's gotten outbreaks there on the team, multiple injuries. I mean, this team's been the most injured team over the last 3 years, right? And even Derek Wolfe has said something to the effect that he really messed up his back. He didn't have any back problems until he got to the Ravens working with Saunders, right? Is it Joe Saunders? Is that his name?
I want to say Steve, but I'm not 100%.
Steve Saunders. Steve Saunders. That's what it is. Steve Saunders, right? So, of course, Lamar doesn't trust. And look, Steve Saunders is the one that's rehabbing. That would be rehabbing Lamar necessarily. But look, man, you can't even get rid of this guy. Right, he's still in the building. Yeah, Steve. Thank you, Coach Evans.
Yeah.
But you can't get rid of this guy. Why would he trust you? Why would he trust his body with any of that personnel in the building? Yeah. Of course, he should stay away. Hell yes, he should stay away. And that's a good thing. But you're not gonna hear them talk about that. It's just, oh, he's staying away from the trainers. He's not getting his treatment. Trust me, Lamar's getting his treatment. Okay.
Yeah,
with some real doctors.
It's a ridiculous thing because out of in any other context, everyone will tell you that the Ravens training staff is garbage.
Garbage.
They have injuries. Injuries are luck to a certain extent, right? But when you are constantly having guys get re-injured, re-injuring the same injury, taking longer to come back than what would be normal because your training staff isn't doing a good job, right? And the Ravens every year are one of the most injured teams in the league. That's not just bad luck. They're not snake bitten. They have a poor training staff. And you see this in other sports as well. Like, when Grant Hill is an example of one of the most injury prone players in history, right? And that's why I argued with Andre Mears before that the injury prone is not a thing. It's not a real thing. Because Grant Hill was playing for Detroit. He started getting hurt. He went to, I believe it was Orlando next. And, he kept on getting injured. He had a lot of foot and ankle problems, right? And he spent about 4 or 5 years straight missing a ton of games, missing more games than he played. And eventually, just being on the sidelines in his suit, being street clothes. And then he went to Phoenix, who has a phenomenal training staff, or had at that time.
I think they still do. That's something that they're known for.
But and then he played the next, I believe, 4 or 5 years, missing very few games. Yeah. Like he just stopped getting hurt because injury prone isn't a thing. It's how you handle the injuries. Carolina kind of the same way with Cam. He got hurt, and it didn't have to be a career altering injury, but that training staff made it into a career altering injury, right? Yeah. You look at the Steelers training staff, Chris Kimoatu. They destroyed that man's, what was it, his kidney or his liver? I can't remember. I believe it was
the Steelers.
Kidney. Yeah. And it's just, there's no reason for players.
Yeah, he almost died.
There's no reason for players to just blindly trust the training staff of an NFL team. They're not there for you.
Right.
Their interest is not making sure that you're healthy and that you're they're not looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for the team's best interest. They want you back on the field as quickly as possible, whether or not it's going to damage your career or damage your life after your career. That's not their issue. Their issue is getting you back on the field right now this season.
Yeah.
So if I'm Lamar, there's no way I'm going to see that training staff to have. I mean, look, J.K. Dobbins just rushed back from a knee injury and got re-injured and had to go back on IR. Why would you, as Lamar Jackson, why would he feel comfortable going to them to deal with his current knee injury?
Yeah, and so for J.K. Dobbins' injury, I know a lot of people are like, well, he said he was ready, he wanted to come back. Man, that to me, that's a sure sign of a terrible training staff. Mm-hmm. Players aren't doctors. Players are players. Players want to play. They'll tell you, hey, everything's fine. I feel great. I need to get back out there, right? The training staff needs to say, you're not ready. I know you're hungry. I know you feel like you're 100%. You're not 100%, or we gotta get you on the snap count. And this is the way it's going to be until we feel like you're 100%. Right? That's their job to do it. But it just doesn't seem like when real decisions need to be made, they don't want to make them.
Baltimore, when a real tough decision comes up, their organizational mantra is pass the buck.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, there's nobody there that's responsible for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, be the change you wish to see. He says, yeah, Derek Wolf got a tell all on the Ravens. Yeah. Yeah. He blames them for that. You know? Hey, shout out to our guy Keeping It Real. Appreciate you coming through. Keeping It Real been putting in some work too. Okay.
What's up, Keeping It Real?
Yes. And Keeping It Real. It's almost that time to get that basketball talk in. All right. When we start ramping it up for the NBA, Keeping It Real. That's our guy, man. He covers the NBA like no other.
We don't need no damn basketball talk. Unless we want to talk about Luka Doncic putting in a historic performance against the New York Knicks the other night, dropping 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists. The first 60-20-10 game in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
Disgusting, New York.
Katie's better.
The Mecca indeed.
Katie's better. Anyway, Noah.
Yes,
Noah. Actually, Noah, it is 105 people in this stream right now. Get them likes up. Yes. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're wondering how people are giving donations over here, this is how we do our super chat. You're looking for the super chat button. All right. YouTube owes us money, so we shut it down. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here's how we do our super chat. Right below B, $ LBHTShow. That's the Cash App. Okay. Also, yes, the pin link that you see in that chat box will take you to our stream elements both ways. You can make a donation, leave your comment, and Microphone Man right here will give you the raised fist. All right. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. You guys have been really showing up this last few weeks, man. I know you are passionate about this. The season, like, it's getting real. That's what's going on, B. It's getting real. We're in the playoffs. We don't know when Lamar's coming back. We see a video of him on the sideline, and John is like, "Oh, I love you, man. I love you." Right? John Harbaugh is so fake, guys. You think he didn't know the camera was standing right there? Even Lamar's kind of like, yeah, okay, coach. All right. He's like, give me a hug. Go hug Tyler Huntley. You know, the cold is good. The cold air is good for your knee. I love you.
Doing that Samuel L. Jackson promoter voice. They just say, listen, he's not too ball dominant. Who you want him to give the ball to? He scored 60 on 31 shots. Leave him alone.
Listen, Luka is great. Imagine what he's going to be when he gets into shape.
He is the offer. I mean, listen, I don't call him Fat Luka or anything, but man,
shout out to Fat Luka.
I love Fat Luka. After the game in the interview, he said, "I'm exhausted. I need a recovery beer."
So. Shout out to Fat Luka, and shout out to Money Making Mitch for the $10 donation, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mitch.
He says, "Happy birthday, B." Yes, thank you, Mitch. Thank you so much, man.
He said, "I need a recovery beer." I was like, "Nah, Luke. You need a translator. That's what you need."
Man. Mark Cuban got so damn lucky to go from dirt to Luka, man. Yeah. I hate that guy. Top Billing says the same Ravens fans that were saying the offense ran smoother with Huntley are now clamoring for Lamar to rush back. I mean, look, we know who it is, man. Right? You had some of those tier one gatekeepers that are trying to lead that march. They're trying to lead that. Hey, look how he commands the offense. Oh yeah. You know, he's pushing the ball. They're moving the ball better in the air with Tyler Huntley out there. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Right? You had those people out there, and then Lamar said, "All right, well, I'll sit out a little bit longer." And they're like, "Ugh, this man's only." He threw his first touchdown pass last week, right? This season.
Yeah.
Okay. So he has more. His touchdown to interception ratio is 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Should have been 3 interceptions. He had a really bad throw that didn't get picked off. But look, he's not looking good. And again, I don't put it on Tyler Huntley. It's just a poor offense. I think it just shows you how bad this offense really is. Okay. And yes, I like Tyler Huntley a little bit more than you do, B. But we talked about it often. What starters, never mind backups, what starters can come on this team right now and play well?
I think in spots you would see a lot of guys come in and play well, but over in terms of like playing well consistently over the course of the season, I mean, None, really.
Right.
I mean, listen, Lamar doesn't even play that well over the course of a season. Like, he's efficient, and he makes the plays that he needs to make, but the numbers are not there. And he gets frustrated so often and makes bad decisions with the ball because of the offense.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Like, even when he doesn't play well, he makes the plays to win. And I think it's those plays that other quarterbacks wouldn't be able to do. And shout out to Anonymous. Well, first of all, let me read Raven Ron. Well, let me read Anonymous because his is going to disappear. What will this offseason look like for Mr. Jackson? I'm going to come right back to you, Anonymous. I'm going to read this from Raven Ron. He got his in first. Appreciate you. He says, I believe Lamar comes back for the playoffs and makes a deep run. And yes, Harbs is as real as Santa Claus, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Sage Steel. Ooh.
Wow. Damn.
Ooh.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Very accurate. Okay, so look. Does Lamar come back? I mean, Raven Ron thinks he does. I hope he doesn't. And this is somebody that wants Lamar to stay in Baltimore. I'm still a Baltimore Ravens fan. I want him to stay there. I want them to pay him. I want them to do all the right things. I want them to do right by Lamar. All those things can happen, right? But I'm realistic, right? I'll take half of that. I'll take, you pay him, you fire Greg Roman and bring in somebody that's not a hardball guy to run the offense, and you start actually putting some decent players. They don't even have to be great at this point. I'll take decent. Okay, I can meet you halfway there, but I don't want him playing any more games, because when they're trying to throw these little shots, because that's the thing, right? It was leaked that he hasn't been getting treatment or whatever. The team leaked it, but when they tried little things like that, the best response for Lamar is to just let them go out there and play without him. That's he doesn't have to say anything else, right? They can try all these little things, and he can just go stay on the sideline and hug John Harbaugh and say, yeah, I'm here to support you guys, right? Not ready yet, got a little limp, right? Not quite ready, right? Go out there and play. You got it. I'm gonna tweet that that I'm supporting you guys, and just go out there and just let them be a mess. And everybody's looking at this team like, why can't they do anything right? Yeah. And it goes right back, it goes right back to, boy, you better get Lamar out there, because that just sends home the point that there is no immediate fix if Lamar leaves, right? If we end up losing Lamar, I don't care how many picks we get, right? I don't care what players we get in exchange. There's no immediate fix. Next year will be a disaster.
Yeah. I think that, I think Lamar will come back and he'll play. I think he'll be back next week. And I wish he would just sit out, period. I wish he would sit out the playoffs. I wish he would tell EDC that he is done with Baltimore, because I mean, what has Baltimore done to earn anything different, right? They haven't proven it on the field that they, in terms of surrounding him with talent, that they want him there, right? They haven't done it on the coaching staff in terms of getting him a good offensive coordinator, a good head coach to help lead the team, help develop him early on in his career. Yeah. They haven't done it in the front office, in the owner's box, by giving him his money, right? And they haven't done it through their propaganda arm when they're out there just taking shots at him through the media and trying to turn fans against him. So what reason, other than, hey, Lamar really likes the fans, what reason is there for him to even consider staying in Baltimore? Because I'll tell you what, he's going to like the fans wherever he goes.
Yep.
The fans are going to treat him well wherever he goes. The difference on all these other teams is he's also going to get his money. He's also going to get the support of the front office and the coaching staff. He's also going to get talent on the field to play with that's of a equal level to himself, right? You go to Miami, you're playing with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You go to even Atlanta. You go to Atlanta, you're playing with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, right? You go to the Jets, you're playing with Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall. Like all these other destinations, you go to Detroit, you're playing with Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. I mean, all these other teams have the talent there already outside of the quarterback position. And Baltimore is the only one that one doesn't have it and refuses to get it. They refuse to get the talent and they refuse to pay him like the player he is. So I just don't know what argument you could possibly make for him to even want to resume negotiations with Baltimore at this point.
I absolutely agree, right? Like I think they are at this point. It looks like they're purposely, avoiding getting him help. That's what it looks like, right? Because every time there's an option to get better help, better talent, they opt for the lesser talent. It seems like it does seem like they are trying to sabotage him to an extent, right? And if that's the case, all right, well then I don't need to play. I'm hurt right now. You guys got it. You're in the playoffs. Congrats. You made it. You made the playoffs without me. Go win something, right? Good luck against the Titans.
Like I see where you're going here because you can add Barry Sanders to that list. You can add Matt Stafford. You can add Ndamukong Suh to that list. But Detroit has a better roster than Baltimore on offense. Baltimore's got more talent on defense, but the offense in Detroit is light years better than Baltimore's.
Yeah. Look, Dan Campbell, I don't think he's going to stick as a head coach over there. He's a likable guy. I'm not going to say he's a better head coach than John Harbaugh. No, but I don't think he's the end game over there, right? I think they're going to try to upgrade their coaches there too. But he's done a good job changing the mindset over there. They're very competitive, right? And they've acquired a lot of talent.
What are y'all?
Is a trash organization.
You have one of the best players in the league, period, regardless of position. He happens to play the most important position in the league. But you have him and you are refusing to put talent around him and refusing to pay him. So what kind of an organization are you?
So listen, historically, you're correct. Be the change you wish to see. You're correct historically, but we're talking about right now, right? The way they're conducting themselves. The Ravens have a great reputation, right, around the league as a top-notch organization, and lots of players love the organization, right? But how are they treating one of the best players they've ever had, the best quarterback they've ever had by far, one of the biggest stars they've ever had, the biggest star? He's bigger than Ray Lewis, right? Let's just be real about it. The biggest star they've ever had. How are they handling this situation? They're handling it like a trash organization.
We just finished talking about how they have a training staff that ensures their players stay hurt and sick, and they refuse to get rid of them.
Yeah.
What kind of organization is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a few of these comments here. Listen, we appreciate you guys. We're not able to read the comments like we used to. You guys have been showing us a lot of love and really showing out here. Like when it was just 12 of y'all, we could read every single comment. But you got 120 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. By the way, really appreciate you. Appreciate you guys over on Facebook showing love as well, and on Twitch. All right. Keeping it real had a comment here. Keeping it real, man. These comments are going by so fast, but Let me just pull a couple up here. Raven Ron says Lamar is gone. Lamar should show up for the playoffs and win a Super Bowl just to demand more money. Hey, that's a possibility as well, right? Show up for a playoff. Look good in a playoff game or two. Even if they lose, and just say, okay, hey, I'm healthy. I look great. This is how I look against top competition with nothing around me when healthy, right? That could absolutely drive the price up going into the offseason. Yeah.
I got Keeping It Real's comment up here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and pull it up. Yes, he says this has been beneficial for Lamar. He's been gone for a month. Absolutely. And the media has buried the Ravens for failing to put the right pieces around him to thrive. The longer he's out, the higher his stock is. Yeah. I agree with that too. I think those are two good points though, right? He could play. He could say, yes, I'm gonna come back healthy as I can be for the playoff push and look fantastic in the playoffs. And then there's there's nothing more to say, right? Like this is how I look in the playoffs. I look great. I'm healthy and I'm a free agent. Come get me, right? You can do that. Or you can say, hey, everybody knows I can play. Everybody sees what I'm working with. Now that I'm not playing, they see how bad that team is, and you hear a lot of people in media now saying like, dang, man, like he was carrying this whole season, and J.K. Dobbins just came back. He was playing with Kenyon Drake. Right. So, I mean, you can play it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's read a couple more here. Noah says, Bobby Trossett, one of those Ravens gatekeepers, so nothing he says carries any substance to me. I disagree on this one. Look, Bobby Trossett, go look at his latest video. I don't remember what it's called, but he's calling out the crooked cop. I don't even like saying his name. I can't stand him, Norris. He's calling out these local guys here in Baltimore for kind of trying to spin that narrative. I thought Bobby Trossett did a excellent job on that video. Now, he was a little bit more tactful with how he said things, but I mean, his point was clear. He said, look, I'm disappointed in these guys. He said, I respect them, but I'm disappointed, and not really having any real evidence of this. Like, you kind of putting a narrative out there, and it's not substantiated, right? Yeah. I can respect that, because most people wouldn't say that. We don't, we have no desire to work with any of those guys, so we're a little bit more blunt with it. They just, look, they're shills for the Ravens. They're going to push whatever narrative that they need to push, and somebody like Ed Norris, who's a known dirtbag in Baltimore, I mean, of course he'll do it. He has no shame, right? Marco G. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Marco. I was supposed to read. Did he have no donation earlier? You did.
Let me check here.
He did. But he just put one up. Hold on a second. I skipped it.
I said, do you think if Ravens pay Lamar, will that incentivize the team to finally go out and get him weapons? Since at that point, the Ravens would probably want to actually be contenders, since they would be paying Lamar a lot of money.
Yes. Okay. He had another one from earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the other one from earlier, you actually talked about it a little bit. He said, did you guys see the propaganda video of Harbs hugging Lamar? Also, do you think EDC and Harbs are hesitant to give Lamar guaranteed money in case things go south? Because Bisciotti won't fire Lamar, he'll fire them. Similar to the Broncos and possibly the Cardinals.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So let's see. Ravens pay Lamar, will that incentivize the team? So yes, I think it does, and we're seeing how paying your quarterback influences how you run the team, right? We're seeing that in Denver, right? Denver paid a boatload of money for Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson looks really bad, right? Mm-hmm. It could be that he's washed. It could be because he doesn't look good. Doesn't look like he's making good decisions out there. But they paid too much money to him, so it can't be him, right? So right. It's like, well, coach got to go.
Not yet.
And I'll say this. I'll say this. That wasn't. We're going to talk more about this on the overtime show, by the way. We're going to talk about that. But firing Hackett wasn't the wrong move. The wrong move was hiring Hackett to begin with. You had no business hiring that guy. So the next coaching hire, I bet you they get very serious about it. I bet you it won't be some friend of the family, right? So,
well, I don't know. They are saying they're looking at people who know Russ.
Well, I meant for the organization. It ain't gonna be one of Elway's. It ain't gonna be one of Elway's buddies, right? It's about Russell Wilson. It's about focusing on him to get the most out of him, because it has to work. So yes, bringing it back to Lamar. If Lamar gets the money, game's over. We're not even talking about Greg Roman anymore. We probably won't be talking about John Harbaugh. If they keep Harbaugh, it's going to go back to vintage Harbaugh, where you're the head coach, but we picked your coordinators, right? At least on offense, we're going to pick that coordinator. That's not going to be your guy. That's going to be our guy, and we're going to bring in the personnel to support that guy. Okay, he's a co-head coach, if you will, right? It's going to be on that level, because it has to be. It's no more, well, we just throw him out there and we just do what we do, and it is what it is. They invested too much into him, and they need him to thrive.
Yeah. And John won't accept that, so it'll be a new head coach.
Yeah.
So to answer his other question, regarding are they hesitant to give, or EDC and Harbaugh hesitant to give him that money? No, it's not up to them. That is a Steve Bisciotti decision. They don't get to decide if Lamar gets all that guaranteed money. Like that's something you can't really put on EDC. I mean, he is we talk about EDC all the time. We give him Fs every week on the round table and everything. But he's kind of the figurehead there. He's the GM and all that. But he doesn't have the power to say we're giving Lamar Jackson, a fully guaranteed contract for however much money he wants. That has to come from Bisciotti. And Bisciotti's the one who's saying no.
Yeah.
EDC's done a terrible job outside of that. And Harbaugh's done a terrible job coaching. But I think that they know, both of them have to know that Lamar Jackson is the only reason they're still employed. So I don't think that they would be hesitant to give him, if it were their decision, I don't think they'd be hesitant to give him that money at all. I think if it were up to EDC and Harbaugh alone, I think he'd already been signed.
Yeah, I agree. And so I say, if I'm EDC, especially, I'm not tying my name to this. There's no way, if we're not bringing Lamar back, I can't stay in that building. I would resign, right? EDC had a very good rep before all of this. He had a very good rep, and a lot of teams in the NFL tried to hire him, right? And those teams would have let EDC do what he wanted to do. If Steve Bisciotti is running interference on this and getting in the way of him doing what he needs to do to secure the biggest star they've had in their franchise history, I would not stay on board with that. If I'm EDC, I would quit. Right. So, we'll see. Maybe he can have one last ditch effort this offseason to try to make things happen. But if Lamar's out that door, then so am I.
Yeah.
What were you reading?
What's up, Ferris?
What's up, man? What's going on, Ferris? Hey, we're gonna have a birthday overtime stream. You better be there. Okay.
Now, I will say too, you talked about Lamar, or this stretch showing Lamar's importance, right? And how there's not going to be a quick fix. And it kind of reminded me of, what's gone on in Carolina, right? With Cam, once they decided they were done with Cam, it's been quarterback carousel, right? They went to Teddy Bridgewater, they went to Sam Darnold, they went to Baker Mayfield and Matt Corral, even though he got hurt. They sprinkled some PJ Walker in there, and now they're back to Sam Darnold, who is playing the best football of his career. And so I want you to get on board with that Sam Darnold and draft picks package that's coming to Baltimore for Lamar Jackson this offseason. All right, Sam Darnold hasn't turned the ball over since he's been back. Okay. And he's going to be the starting quarterback going into the biggest game of the season this weekend, playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and old washed-ass Tom Brady. And I mean, it's not for the division. Carolina does have to win out to win the division. But this, obviously it goes a long way. Thank you, Omar. I appreciate it. They have to win this weekend. They already beat Tampa Bay once, and now they look like a much better team than they were the first time they beat Tampa, and Tampa is reeling. Tampa has been getting hit with injuries. Tom Brady, I mean, it's every day he's getting older. He's not getting better.
Let me ask you this, B.
So it looks like.
Let me ask you, like, I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off, but like, how do you feel? Is your opinion about Steve Wilks changed over this stretch? Because I'm thinking about what Tomlin's doing with his team. I'm looking at Wilks. I'm like, man, Wilks is getting a lot out of this team.
Not really, and I think I don't typically buy into end of the season surges,
right?
Especially when teams are when players and coaches know that they're playing for their jobs, right? Yeah. It's easy to turn a locker room around. It's easy to have everybody on the same page when everybody knows if this doesn't work, we're all fired, right? And that's not to say that he's doing a bad job. He's doing a good job. But if you look at who they've played and who they've beaten, I mean, the best team on that list is probably Seattle. That's not impressive.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I'm usually not a fan of like those replacement coaches, those interim coaches coming in and giving the team a little surge at the end, right? Because can they do it over a 17 game stretch? But they've been up and down, right? Like they win, and then they get thrashed by Cincinnati, right? And then they bounce back, then they lose to the Steelers, and then they come back and beat Detroit. What I'm seeing is a coach that is teaching his team to never give up, right? Like one game, okay, you get crushed, no big deal. You go out there, you compete the next week. And that gives me a little hope for him. Like he's a coach that can, every week has his team prepared. Like we talk about, is having your team prepared every week, even when you have you suffer a bad loss. Okay, we throw that out and let's focus on next week. Let's get this win, and it keeps it seems like the team is focused every week.
Yeah, but I think the problem that I have with it is, I mean, look, it's always fun to root for your team in a division race, root for them to get to the playoffs and everything like that, right? But when that's going on, people only tend to look at the positives. Like everybody's on Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard and talking about, oh, we don't miss Christian McCaffrey at all. Well, in the 3 games where Deonta ran for like 30 yards, you probably missed him a lot, right? Yeah. But we don't really think about that. When this Carolina team plays good teams, they don't look good. They look like the team that they actually are. Yeah. So Steve Wilkes is taking them from a team who gave up on their coach and was getting, it was playing very uninspired football and getting beat every week, no matter who was out there. He's gone from that to a team who can beat bad teams but can't compete with good teams.
Yeah.
And I think that's
up,
where
Danity?
What's up, Danity? I think that's where the roster is. That's where the roster is, right? Like they're better than the bottom feeders in the league, and in terms of the talent on the team, but they're absolutely not good enough to compete with the upper echelon teams.
But I mean, we know a lot of that has to do with the quarterback play. Do you think with a better quarterback, Steve Wilkes can coach this team?
I've never been a big fan of Steve Wilkes, even before he went to Arizona. I think a lot of the fan base was ready for him to leave that defensive coordinator spot, right? He got screwed in Arizona. He absolutely should not have had. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it, man. He absolutely should not have been fired after 1 year in Arizona. They gave him nothing to work with. But he's not a guy that I personally would look to lead the team moving forward. I do want them to go in the direction that it sounds like they're going and getting a younger, offensive-minded head coach who will actually build around a young quarterback. I'm not sure that that's the direction that Steve Wilkes would go. Yeah, being a defensive-minded coach.
Okay. A couple more birthday shout-outs over here. Manuel's Call of Duty channel says, happy birthday, Brodny. Our guy Sterling says, whoa, Jose, who's that seasoned and elderly-looking gentleman to next to you? I remember B being so much younger. Yeah, he does look so much older. Wow. He does.
Screw y'all, man.
Marcos G says, he says Brady's not washed. He's only 86. So I don't know, man. I'm a little. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I've kind of changed my opinion on him a little bit, but I can understand you not feeling comfortable with that move. But I think either way, no matter how this plays out, he's put himself in a much better position to get a head coaching job. Now, of course,
he's not getting the one in Carolina. That much is clear.
Yeah, I think even if he was winning this whole time, he wasn't going to get it. Right.
Right.
I mean, your owner had pretty much said that.
They have a direction in mind that they want to go in, and that's not Steve Wilkes.
Now, I'll say this, man. I'll say this: if they end up winning the division and they don't hire him, right? David Tepper goes in the direction he wants to go to. That's going to add to the lawsuit. You know that, right?
It will, but it shouldn't, because you're talking about a team it's under 500.
Let me read this, and I'm gonna tell you why. Shout out to Marco G. He says Derek. He said Derek. He said Derek Vehicle. He's talking about Derek Carr. Derek Vehicle to the Panthers this offseason. Maybe he can finally get a new transmission and reset his check engine light in Carolina. You know what?
No, I'm good.
This is I'm gonna tease. We even got to the part where we're gonna tease the overtime show. But the overtime show, we're going to discuss. There's a lot of quarterback news going on around the league. So just give you a little preview of what's going on the overtime show. It's going to be a lot of quarterback talk, and Derek Carr is going to be one of those quarterbacks that we talk about. If you haven't heard, he has gotten benched for the last 2 games in favor of Jared Stidham. I think that is ridiculous. I think I like Derek Carr. Derek Carr has changed my mind. I think he's a good quarterback. I think they just have an awful coach whose only reason for still being there is that the owner is too broke to fire him. Right? That's the only reason he's still there. And you can't let a coach like that make those type of decisions. And shout out to Sterling for the $5 donation. Says, for that grizzled man on the right of you. Oh man, that's talking about you, B.
It's disrespectful. I don't actually have a problem with them benching Derek Carr. He hasn't been playing well, and they're done. They're out, right? So, what they're saying is they're going to look at some of the younger players on the team. I don't really have a problem with that because it's not just Derek Carr. They put Chandler Jones on IR, another one of their, I believe, defensive players they put on IR as well. Like they're getting some of the vets out of there, and they're going to get the younger guys some more playing time, and that's fine. But yeah, the problem in Las Vegas is the coach. It's not Derek Carr, really.
Just Aloe, this is for you, B. He says, next time I mention circular Pop-Tarts or almond smash soda, Brodny's going to know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Just Aloe. Listen, these are things you're missing from the Overtime Show. Just Aloe, we'll just say he is a seasoned man, okay? He remembers things that we don't quite remember. And look, I had never heard of a circle of round Pop-Tarts, but they existed.
Yes.
And Just Aloe, those were his snacks of choice.
He would get the almond soda, get some round Pop-Tarts, and watch Captain Chesapeake. Yes. He was teaching us all kinds of things back in the day on those Overtime shows, man. Shout out to you. And shout out to Anonymous for a $30 donation. It says, will the Panthers draft a QB in 2023? They have to. Absolutely.
They have to.
But that's the thing, right? And this is what I've been talking about all year. Right now, they are in position to draft 8th, which puts them probably in Anthony Richardson territory, right? You're not going to get Bryce Young at 8. You're probably not going to have a shot at CJ Stroud at 8. I think that's right around where Anthony Richardson will be going. So, I mean, that's not my top choice, obviously, but whatever, it's fine. He's a very talented guy who needs to develop. Okay, cool. If they beat Tampa Bay and they beat New Orleans, you're picking in the 20s. And what is your plan at quarterback then? Because it damn well better not be Sam Darnold.
Shout out to Ferris for a $20 donation. It says, let the salt and pepper flow, Brodny. Let it flow.
Thank you, Ferris. Appreciate it, man.
I'm still laughing at that Derek Vehicle joke, man. That was funny. Shout out to Garnett, but the $50 donation says happy birthday to a brother. Hey,
thank you, Garnett.
Hey, Garnett, show up to the Overtime Show. We gotta ask you something. Haven't seen you in a while. Just show up, okay? Come through, show your face. All right. Let's see what we got here.
I want to knock out this topic real quick before we move on to the picks. No, they didn't give up on Baker. No, they didn't give up on Baker too soon. He went to one of the only actual quarterback whisperers in the NFL, guys, Sean McVay.
Guys, chat. Did the Panthers give up on Baker Mayfield too soon?
No,
listen.
No, they did not.
He dropped 51. He dropped 51 on Sunday.
Baker Mayfield got that man fired.
He got Hackett. I want to say Paul Hackett. That's his dad. Nathaniel Hackett. He got him all the way out of here.
Yes.
50. Listen, I don't know. Baker may. Is it going to work? That's the second question. Is it going to work, or is it just it's a nice little?
It'll work for them. Listen, Sean McVay is a great coach.
Yes,
a great coach. And right now, they don't have Cooper Kupp. They don't have a number 2 receiver. They got Van Jefferson out there. But they're going to come back next season. They'll have Cooper. They'll figure out the O-line, I believe, this offseason. And he'll be able to navigate Baker back to respectability. That was a fantastic pickup for Baker Mayfield. I don't think it's that great a pickup for the Rams. I mean, it'll be all right for them while they're searching for their next actual quarterback, because I think they're going to be done with Stafford.
Stafford says he's not retiring.
Yeah.
right?
Cool.
And I don't think, yes, of course McVay can make him look decent, but McVay already he used it. Look, Jared Goff used up all of Sean McVay's goodwill. He does not want to work with quarterbacks like that
All his
anymore.
patience.
Yes. And I don't think he wants that with Baker. Like I think he saved Baker's career. He'll make Baker look good enough to get another job somewhere. Maybe not starting, but he's not going to be out the league.
It's a question of whether or not they have a choice, right? Because Stafford, I mean, he's broken down, right? Yeah. He's got all sorts of injuries. I don't think they want him back. Mm-hmm. And if they move on from Stafford, obviously they don't have any draft picks. They're the Rams. So what are you going to do? Are you going to take a shot on a second or third round guy and just throw them in there? Or are you going to say, we're going to pay Baker a little bit of money, because he's not going to command a huge contract at this point, pay him a little bit of money and have him be a bridge quarterback and see if he can work himself into being more than that? Listen,
they don't have first round picks, but I'll tell you what they have an abundance of: future picks.
You can't never run out of the future picks.
You can never run out of future picks. They will work something out. But I don't think they want Baker.
But they may be in a position where they have to attach a future pick for someone to take Matt Stafford.
I think they might run it back with Stafford next year. He was just hurt. I mean, he came into the season hurt, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, when they started talking about his elbow injury, it sounded like he was on his last legs.
Do the Rams have a second round pick?
That I am not sure of, but my gut says no.
Yeah,
they are the Rams.
Yeah, I can see them maybe drafting somebody, or picking up some. I mean, maybe they even stick with Baker. Who knows? But I think they're going to try to run it back one more time with Matt Stafford. And if it doesn't work out, it's fine. Then they'll ramp up the QB search after that, right? But I think they'll try it one more time with Matt Stafford. Ashanti, what are we talking about here? What's up, Ashanti? Thanks for coming through. Says Rams stunk when all them guys were healthy. 49ers, younger, better, and that division for the foreseeable future belongs to San Francisco. Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's what they said the last time when they made their run to the Super Bowl, and it wasn't true.
Right.
And that's why you don't build around the defense, because it's harder to sustain. They've done a good job in San Francisco, and obviously they've rebuilt the offense. They built it back up. Getting Christian McCaffrey was a fantastic move for them.
And they got their quarterback. He was hurt this year.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they're doing at quarterback moving forward, right? Because they got the guy they drafted third overall who hasn't gotten to play really. And then they have Garoppolo, who played pretty well. And then they got Brock Purdy, who is Garoppolo minus. But he's cheaper.
I give San Francisco a lot of props because, yes, they did kind of build it as a defensive-minded team, but they did not neglect the offense like the Ravens did, right? We don't know what Trey Lance is going to be, but, they believe in him, and they spent the first-round pick to get him. They re-upped Deebo Samuel when Samuel said, "Get me out of here." And they're like, "Hey, shut up and take this money." He said, "Okay." They drafted Brandon Ayuk, who's excellent, and they traded for Christian McCaffrey, right? And they got George Kittle. So, I mean, they didn't neglect that side of the ball. So, how they're doing it, I'm all the way good with that, right?
Yeah.
You want to be a defensive-heavy team. You like being a physical team, but give your quarterback and that offense something to work with. And Erica Medellin says, "Happy birthday, Brodny."
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming through. Okay. Noah says Kyle choked Shanahan. Well, I can't argue that.
I mean, I won't argue that, but it may be that Matt Ryan was the the bigger part of that choke relationship.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They have fantastic weapons in San Francisco.
Yeah. So, Marco G says, "Can you imagine Lamar with the weapons of the Niners?" I'm gonna tell you guys something, because
they can give you 3 quarterbacks. One of them gonna work out.
I'll tell you something. These teams, you're gonna find out how aggressive some of these teams will be if there's even a hint of Lamar is gonna be available.
Yeah.
Okay. You think that bidding war for Deshaun Watson was something? Lamar will go well over $50 million a year guaranteed. Right? Guaranteed. He's going to get over $300 million guaranteed, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Teams like San Francisco teams like the Jets, right? Teams like Miami, right? Especially these teams that are in the playoffs, they already have a taste of it, and they're just looking at somebody like Lamar like, that's all we need, right? You're gonna see more teams that are like that.
And if all you want is picks, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna say. I was about to say they're gonna adopt the Rams mentality, right? Because unlike like the Rams, they didn't get a quarterback who was just on his last legs, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna get their quarterback, and once they get Lamar and they already have everybody else, what else do you need?
Yeah,
right. So yeah, we're gonna get a rack of picks for Lamar if we trade Lamar. We're still gonna suck.
Oh yeah, like how do you feel about Tua running that Ravens offense? Do you feel good?
I like Tua. No.
Do you feel good about him running that Ravens offense?
I mean, he has his third. He's in his third concussion protocol.
Even taking that away. Let's say, hey, you know what? He's fine. He's fine. Concussion's not an issue. He never takes another hit in his life. He's struggling running that Miami offense to an extent.
Yeah. With
Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and Gesicki. You think he's gonna run? You think he's gonna put up points in Baltimore?
No. Garnett says, I don't think Jackson gets traded this year, but next year it might be a possibility if a deal is not done. A deal has to get done right now, Garnett. He's a free agent.
I don't think that I don't think they're gonna go through an entire season with him taking up $45 million on the cap.
Yeah. No, I don't believe so. But hey, we'll see. Okay. All right. So B, Panthers. Did they win? You got them winning?
Yeah, got them winning.
Oh, B's got the Panthers winning.
But I will say this: every time I pick them to win, they lose.
Well, not when I pick them, and I'm picking them. Yes, the Panthers win, and then if they win, that last week is going to be. It's going to be
the last week is going to be. I mean, they're a bad team, so no games are easy.
No.
But I want to say that's going to be an easy win against New Orleans. They win this week. Like if you win this week and you know that all you need is that one last win to win the division and get to the playoffs, Andy Dalton ain't stopping you.
I wanted to bring this up earlier. I started to bring it up when I was talking about the lawsuit. And you're saying it shouldn't be a part of the lawsuit if they win a division, make the playoffs, and he doesn't get the job. I agree. It shouldn't be if David Tepper hadn't opened his big mouth, right? This is why it will be, because he pretty much said, I don't care what you do. I'm not hiring you. You can't say that, right? He said, oh, well, this is, I forget the exact words, but paraphrasing it, he basically said he would have to do something spectacular for me to change my mind on him being the coach. And if you get a coach that takes this team to the playoffs, I don't care what his record is, he won a division, it doesn't look good, right? And shout out to Raven Ron for the $5 donation. Says, I really don't want Lamar to go. EDC, or I really don't want Lamar to go. I think is what he said. EDC proved that he can't draft, so trading him for picks, first rounders is useless. Kyle Bowler, 2007, 2008. I know all about Kyle Bowler. Is making a reappearance this year. Kyle Bowler is probably the worst I've ever seen at quarterback.
To be fair to EDC, you haven't seen him picking quarterback, right? And every GM has their own strengths and weaknesses. Maybe he can pick a quarterback. Maybe he's good at evaluating quarterbacks. I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe he is. And the other part is you don't have to draft a quarterback. They can turn around and use those picks to trade for another quarterback that might be available. But no, I feel you on that, Ron. Like, it's not, if you're trading Lamar Jackson, you lost the trade.
Yeah. Justin P, what up? What's going on, man?
What's up, Justin?
Guy says Tua is one concussion away from being the next Quick Chandler. Quick Chandler.
I don't know who Quick Chandler is.
Chris Chandler, I think he meant to put Chris Chandler. Yeah, for the Falcons.
Yeah.
He said Chris. Yeah. I got you, Garnett. Let's see here. We could use them picks to get the boy from DC, Caleb Williams, the best QB prospect since Lamar, Burrow, and Allen. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna disagree on the caliber of prospect, but even that's a year, another year away, and there's no guarantee you can get him. Because if he is that prospect, Ashanti, if he is that guy, you have to have the first pick to get him. They're not going to trade out. Whoever ends up with it, they're not trading out if he is that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that guy, but
all right, we got to speed this up because we are an hour and 20 minutes in.
Well, right. Luckily, it's time for the Week 17 picks.
Well, before we get that, but
it's time.
No, it's not time. We need to have a word from our sponsors. Ourselves. That's right. Listen, shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's been donating to the show tonight. You guys been really showing B love on his birthday. Yes. And if you're new here, look, we got 126 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right. If you're looking for that super chat, there are two ways to do it. Right below B, $LBHTShow. That is the Cash App. Right. Also, the pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our Stream Elements page. Both ways, you leave a donation, leave a comment, and Microphone Man will salute you. Okay. Now, another way to support us, right below B on this other side, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Okay. We have 3 tiers. Real quick, B is going to tell you about the tiers. All right. How you can support the show. We'll also tell you about the dope merch because I know you guys are staring at the shirt. I know you're staring at it and say, oh, man, I like that. Oh, I like that beanie. We're gonna tell you we can get that. But B, tell them about the tiers real quick because the overtime show is gonna be a hot one. And you guys, that's right, you see it right there. You guys do not want to miss this overtime show. So tell them how they can get access to that.
Yeah, so we have the $3 tier, which is kind of a general support tier, but like as I said, that'll get you into the overtime show and into the Discord. It also gets you into our yearly Pick'em League, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of the season to whoever wins. Mike won it last year. Mike was very impressed with himself right up until he broke the trophy. And Coach was the first winner. You can see how much he loves that there. We also have the $10 tier, which gets you the LBHT Crew coin that Jose has. It'll also get you into our fantasy football league. We have a dynasty league. Congratulations to Buck and Ferris for making the championship round. So we'll be awarding the belt to one of those two following this week. The belt, I'm talking about the LCFL championship belt. That would be getting mailed out after this weekend. We also have a redraft league that we do for fun every year. If there's enough interest, we can start up a second dynasty league as well. And then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our other podcasts that we do with OTR Mike, Ring Kings podcast, where we talk about all things boxing. Sign up for that tier. You'll get our custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time, plus everything that I mentioned, and all of the tiers get you into the overtime show that we do every week following the live show, and they all get you access to the Discord server.
Yes, and that Discord server alone is well worth the price of admission. Okay.
Yes.
Very, very lively server, lots of channels on there, and lots of great conversations. So once again, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Now, if you're looking for the merch, I know you're looking at it right there. LBHTshow.com/shop is where you can get it. I saw our nephews walking around with one of the new beanies, and I was jealous. So I immediately had to go and order one. Okay. Look, man, I just want to pass those on the back. I think we did a good job this time around, upgrading the store and putting new merch on there. I think you guys are going to really like it. Right. So go check out the merch. Go see, you see something that you like. You see what that couple is wearing right there. That happy couple. They weren't happy before they put those shirts on. They were arguing. Okay. And then we say, hey, put these shirts on so we take this picture. They're like, oh, yeah, I like this. Okay. This guy right here. Now he looks sad. But that's because we told him he couldn't keep the shirt. Right. So he's like, oh, man, I want to keep that. But yes, for the Panthers fans, for the Ravens fans. Okay. You guys have seen me wear this multiple times. Okay. That's the Raven City shirt. All that stuff is available on the store. Okay. LBHTshow.com/shop. And Ring Kings, I mentioned it. Ring Kings podcast is our other podcast that we do with our brother OTR Mike. Okay. And speaking of OTR Mike, make sure you subscribe over to Open Mic with OTR Mike as well. All right. Also, you see Hendo in the chat. Ravens Online Ungatekeepers. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And our good friend Chris from Deep Cover Podcast. Okay. These are all, why am I advertising all these guys? What do we all have in common, B? You can find us all right here on Sip 2 Tally Films every Monday. Not this Monday because, holidays. Probably not next Monday either. But, look, every Monday, just about, you can find us on the Ravens Roundtable. So go and subscribe to all of them. Subscribe to Sip 2 Tally Films. And every Monday, you can get yourself a treat. Okay.
And Agent E, this is the kind of energy that I like to see in the chat.
Wow, the hate for Hendo is real out here. Hendo, I was rooting for you, man. He was undefeated. He was undefeated.
Undefeated right up until it mattered.
He'll bounce back. That's the beauty of a dynasty league. Okay, there's always next year.
Yeah.
Okay. Add to pot. Let me read your comment, and then we're going to start. We're going to start the week 17 picks. Add to pot says, I think Lamar ends up on Miami or the Jets. Miami will trade someone to get some first round picks to trade for him, like maybe Xavier Howard or Bradley Chubb. All right, we'll discuss it more in a bonus time. It's possible. Anything's possible at this point. But B.
Yes.
Rapid fire. Let's go. We're going fast.
Actually going to be rapid fire.
If you're new here, okay, this is where we make our picks. If you want to, make picks with us, type fast in the chat. Okay, I'll bring them up as fast as possible. We're going through these quick. B, week 17. Let's go.
Tomorrow night, Dallas at Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill is out. He went to get some magic surgery somewhere down south to see if he can come back later, but he ain't going to be there tomorrow. And Dallas is going to blow them out with Derrick Henry also being questionable.
I got Dallas. Anonymous, I see your comment. Appreciate it. Is that belt staying at home? No, it's leaving. B's out. B is out. Okay, it's either going to Ferris or Brandon Buck. One of those will be the new champions.
Yeah, there was some treachery involved there, but that's all right. Arizona at Atlanta, two teams that have kind of given up a little bit. Arizona's given up harder, taking the Falcons at home.
I don't think the Falcons have given up. I think they're just not that good, but I'm also taking the Falcons.
Chicago at Detroit. Chicago is in the running for the number one overall pick. It despite the steps that Justin Fields took this season, it hasn't come together. And I think Detroit gets back on track, beating up on the little guys.
Yep, I got Detroit.
Denver at Kansas City at Kansas City. I don't think, new interim coach is gonna be enough to bounce them over that Chiefs wall.
Kansas City saw 51 get put up against them, and they're like, we need at least 55.
We got Miami at New England. New England is an absolute mess. They've fallen under 500. Miami is going to be starting Teddy Bridgewater, and they desperately need this win to kind of stay alive. I'm taking the Dolphins on the road.
I got the Dolphins. I just want to say again, Mac Jones sucks.
He's dirty too, and he sucks.
Yes.
The Colts at the New York Giants. Colts currently, their tank job with Jeff Saturday.
Oh, Nitro says Denver. Oh, okay. All right, Nitro. Okay. All right.
The tank job with Saturday didn't go quite as planned. They've won too many games. They're kind of in no man's land right now. But the Giants are going to help them get back on track by beating the hell out of them.
Yep. Got the Giants.
New Orleans at Philadelphia. It's Andy Dalton or Taysom Hill or some combination thereof. I'm taking Philly.
I got Philly.
Carolina at Tampa. I got Carolina in this one. Tampa Bay lost another offensive lineman this past week. It's they're going through a really rough time with injuries. Tom Brady has been bad all year long. I think Carolina gets it done, but I will say I think Darnold gets his first turnover since coming back. But Carolina wins. I'm going to say 27-17.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to say 27-20. Carolina.
Next up, we've got Cleveland at Washington. Deshaun Watson has not been playing well. It could still be rust. It could just be, adjusting to the new team because obviously he didn't have an off-season training camp, preseason, all that. But it just, it doesn't look good so far, and I don't think it's going to get fixed this week. I think Washington gets the win as they go back to Carson Wentz.
I got Cleveland, man, because Washington doesn't look good either. No, definitely not with Carson Wentz. I would have. I have more faith if Taylor Heineke was out there than Carson Wentz.
I wouldn't. He's a better player than Taylor. Jacksonville at Houston. It's Houston. They are still, locked into that number 1 pick, and they are going to stay there. Jacksonville for the win.
Yep, Jacksonville. What a turnaround.
San Francisco at Las Vegas. Jared Stidham ain't beating nobody. That's San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
Jets at Seattle. This is a really tough one. The Jets have also fallen back under 500. Seattle has lost, I believe, 4 of 5. They're both fighting for their playoff lives. I think that Seattle gets the win here.
I got the Jets.
You got Mike F. and White, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Green Bay. This is a tough one to call because, it is a rivalry game. It's a division game. And despite the fact that they have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne, Dalvin Cook, TJ Hawkinson, they also have Kirk Cousins. But I'm going to say that the skill positions bail Kirk out again, and Minnesota gets the win on the road.
Mikey said, not so fast, my friends. Jacksonville trips and stumbles at the finish line.
Mike, go check the Sleeper app. You have an offer. and when you check it, remember that it's my birthday.
I got Minnesota. I got Minnesota.
All right. LA Rams at the LA Chargers. Chargers just clinched the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long, but for the first time in young Justin Herbert's career. So congratulations to them.
Yes.
The LA Rams are going to be starting Baker Mayfield again, and I'm going to take the Chargers.
I got the Chargers.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Again, doesn't look like Lamar's playing. I think Kenny Pickett goes into Baltimore and gets the job done. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh 21 to 16.
I got Pittsburgh 16 to 13.
And on the Monday night game, probably the game of the week, the Buffalo Bills at Cincinnati. This is a tough one to call. James Cook has looked really good in Buffalo when they've given him a chance. Obviously, you got Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, and Gabe Davis and those guys over there. I think I'm going to go with the Bengals, Burrow and crew to get the win at home on Monday.
Wow.
And keep the pressure on Baltimore. I mean, there won't be any pressure at that point. Yeah, we over. But for our purposes.
Suge does not like my pick of the Steelers.
Of course
That's
not.
right. I got a plan, guys. I got a plan. All right. I got Buffalo. All right. That was it was rapid enough. Okay. Appreciate everybody in the comments. Man, the comments, boy, they were getting their picks. They're still typing them in, man. They're on fire. They're on fire. That's what I'm talking about. All right, look, we still going strong here. 130 people in the chat. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're enjoying the content and you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are at the portion of the show called bonus time. Okay, let's fire it up. We'll read the comments, whatever you want to talk about for a few minutes. We'll talk about it, and then we will start the overtime show. And look at this, Mr. OTR Mike with the $30 donation says, "Oh snap! Happy birthday, Brodny!" Hey,
thank you, Mike. I'll tell you what, I will refund that donation if you go hit accept right now. All right.
He said, "No, you keep that."
How much is Damian worth to you, literally?
Should have said I'm bad luck.
Bad luck.
Hey. All right. So where we want to go with it? I know Attitude Pop had a comment about where Lamar can end up this offseason.
Yes.
He can end up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a time where you find out who is willing to do what it takes, because nobody, and I mean nobody, would have picked the Browns to land Deshaun Watson the previous year. Right.
Because Deshaun Watson wouldn't have picked the Browns to land Deshaun Watson. There were other teams who they got cold feet at the end in terms of giving giving out that guaranteed contract, and so Cleveland stepped back up to finish last in the division.
Yeah, I mean, they were willing to take the L this year.
Yeah,
they knew. And listen, we understand what's going on with Deshaun Watson, right? We know what it is, right? And you don't have to like that person. I damn sure don't. But look, credit to the Browns for doing what it takes, right? Mm-hmm. Because they understood, hey, this looks really bad. No matter how you feel about the situation, it looks really bad. Okay. And that would scare most teams off because, I mean, there's still allegations coming out, right? Mm-hmm. They knew he was going to have to face a long suspension. And they said, we will eat all of that. We'll eat all the bad publicity. We'll eat the suspension. We'll take the L this year. And we'll still have our quarterback next year. And it's going to work. Right? Like, what you're seeing from him now, I don't think, by no means, I think he's done. I do think it's rust. And I do think he'll get into a rhythm. He'll, and you'll start seeing that vintage Deshaun Watson on the field again next year. I think it is going to work out. And yeah, man, all the blows that they took, and it's easy for them. They're the Browns.
Yeah, and I agree that it's rust, and he'll be fine moving forward. And listen, this is a franchise that hasn't had a quarterback in 30 plus years.
Yes,
actually, maybe even a little bit longer. They've had a couple of decent seasons. They got a couple of good seasons out of Baker. They got a good season out of Kelly Holcomb. They had a good season with Derek Anderson and all this. But the last time they had a consistent starting quarterback was probably Bernie Kosar. So it's been a very, very long time. And when it's been that long, you're going to be willing to pay the cost, whatever it is.
And they're not the only teams out there. I know our owner Steve Bisciotti is talking about, I wish they hadn't paid him that guarantee money, and the owner saying, we wish we hadn't have done that. But let Lamar hit the market like that, and watch how many teams say, "Oh yeah, you want 300 guaranteed? Yeah, done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of it. Yeah, no problem." Lamar is a better quarterback. He has no baggage, and he's a little bit younger, right?
Yeah,
and he's a former MVP. Oh, shout out to Anonymous for a $40 donation. It says, most excellent show and happy birthday again. Hey,
thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, man. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes, for the donations. Thank you. Let's read some more comments here. Noah says Deshaun was more worried about having enough money to pay off those lawsuits. He got it.
Yeah, that's done.
He got it. And I tell you what, that probably didn't even count towards his overall salary. They said, don't worry about that. We'll pay that. And we'll give you your money. Right? They give him everything.
Oops.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just Al says, if the Ravens trade Lamar, they will become a laughingstock. No other organization has done that with a quarterback like him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So their reputation's on the line. Make no mistake about it. You'll hear people say, "Oh, well, I support the team. They're an excellent organization and all this stuff." Their reputation will go down the drain if they don't work this out.
Yeah.
They will not be looked at the same. Where are you clicking
on? JP, right below you there.
Right here? This one?
Yes.
It says, do you guys think everything by the Browns was planned to implode the Ravens from the inside with uncertainty of Lamar's future? No. I think that's just a bonus, right? That's icing on the cake. But they wanted to get their quarterback.
Yeah.
No team is going to make a move just to put down another team. Like you have to worry about your team.
And you can't plan something like that, because how do you plan for another team not being willing to keep their franchise quarterback? That doesn't make nobody would have sat there and said, "Oh, you know what? I think Baltimore doesn't want to sign Lamar Jackson, and we're gonna nudge him down that road a little more."
Because if that was the case, they would have been making moves to sign Lamar Jackson instead.
Yeah.
All right. And shout out to Ben H for another $50 donation. Wow, says happy birthday, Jose. Don't feel left out. Hey, my birthday isn't until May, but I'll take it. Thank you. Okay. And that last stream around my birthday, I got a lot of donations because I told you guys I love chocolate chip cookies, and one of my favorite places to get chocolate chip cookies is the Wegmans. They are very expensive. So it's usually on my birthday, the only time when I get those cookies. But I'm gonna take some of that money right there, Ben H, and get me some of those Wegman cookies. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Appreciate it. Wow, man, these comments are still coming in here. Which one are you reading, B? Lonnie Williams, thank you for joining the live stream.
Will retire after we beat the out of him. And he says, talk about my Panthers. We talked about the Panthers. We picked them to win.
Yep.
It's just going to be unfortunate when they win and they make the playoffs, and then you're looking for the quarterback because it cannot and will not be Sam Darnold. It cannot.
Lonnie, how do you feel about the quarterback situation? Right? Because this is, if you watch this stream, you know, B's a Panthers fan, and he does not want them to make the playoffs. He doesn't want them winning all these games, right? And I know a lot of fans are looking at it and saying, man, you have a chance to win a division. You have a chance to go to the playoffs. You got to do it, right? You'll figure out the quarterback situation later on. You know, you don't have to be, in the top 5 or top 10 to get yourself the right quarterback. Yes, this is all true, but it's about giving yourself the best chance to get the best quarterback for your team. And to B's point, if you win a division, you go from picking 8th around that to somewhere in the 20s. What quarterback is available for you in the draft? There might be one, but again, probably not. The odds are against you. And are you looking to get somebody in free agency? Well, who will that person be? Like, not saying that there isn't somebody there, but has this organization thought about the quarterback that they want and what it's going to take to get him?
It's just a much bigger gamble at that point, because at that point you're looking at Bryce Young being gone, CJ Stroud being gone, Richardson being gone, Levis probably being gone. And so you're looking at Hendon Hooker and worse, right? Yeah. And Hendon Hooker, whatever you feel about him, he's an old prospect. He's 25 already, or he's going to be 25 at the start of next season. And, obviously he has his flaws like all these other quarterbacks do. The question is, at 25, how much development do you really expect to see? And then obviously at that point, it's kind of a crapshoot on the rest of the quarterbacks, right? Like, what you're saying once you get past that first wave is that these NFL teams are saying these aren't guys that we think are franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We saw that this past season, right? It was Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder. There was even talk about Carson Strong in there, but they were projecting these guys in the first round, pretty high in the first round initially, and they kept falling in mock drafts. Come draft time, only Kenny Pickett went in the first round. The other guys went in the third and later. Yes, the NFL telling you, listen, we don't think these guys are that good. We don't think these guys are going to make it as franchise quarterbacks, as long-term starters.
Yeah.
When you get past that first wave of quarterbacks, you could find one.
You could.
But there's a much bigger chance that you're going to land on a guy who is not the answer. And we talked about this before, people using Lamar Jackson as an example. He went 32nd. Okay, yeah, he went 32nd. That was a mistake by a lot of the teams in the league. They kind of bought into the false narratives about Lamar. That's fine. That happens. Guys drop. Drew Brees dropped. Colin Kaepernick dropped. Some guys drop. But the very next year, Kyler Murray went number 1 overall, and there wasn't a single other quarterback in that draft worth anything.
Well, more relevant to the Panthers, Cam went number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Did you want the next quarterback?
Sure didn't.
Okay. Right? So, yeah, I mean, yes, and we're going to talk more about this in the overtime show. We're going to talk about quarterbacks because I want to give you a little sneak peek of the overtime show, okay? There it is right there. You got Zach Wilson on one end and Russell Wilson on the other end, right? And these are both examples, right? You have on one side, somebody could say, see, this is why you don't pay all this money. You don't invest all this money into a quarterback because they take up, the whole cap. And, if it doesn't work out, you're stuck with him and you just have a bad team and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. But on the other hand, you have a first round pick, was he number 1 and number 2, whatever, Zach Wilson. And this team is ready to win, right? They got a lot of young pieces. They're ready to compete right now. And he's terrible, right? And you can say, okay, well, he's on a rookie contract. He's not costing him a lot. But he's a first round pick. And because he's a first round pick, they're not going to just toss him out. Yes, there's a lot of rumors about them moving on from him next year. They're not going to move on from him, right? They're going to try to bring in another quarterback, but you wasted a year with him. You're going to keep him on the team. You have to still go out and get another quarterback. So are you going to draft another quarterback, or are you going to pay for a quarterback in free agency? It's still going to cost you. When you make the wrong choice, no matter how you do it, it's going to cost you. So it's not about, it doesn't matter where you pay or you draft. It has to be the right choice in the end. And you have to get a good quarterback.
Yeah. Lonnie's saying Carolina has the youngest team in the league, and look at what they're doing. What they're doing is challenging to win the worst division in the league. They don't even have that locked up. They're challenging to win the worst division in the league. If they win it, they will be 8-9. So listen, I mean, you can find that impressive if you want. That's your choice. I do not. Like they're a bad team with some talent for sure, but they're a bad team in a terrible division. And I'm assuming that those other three teams are going to do everything they can to get better and not try to run it back with a guy like Sam Darnold.
I mean, Tampa Bay just getting healthy on the O-line.
Yeah.
Will look completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not a 60-year-old Tom Brady there. But, right. You know, look, it is what it is. It is what it is. He says, man, we have our QB, which is Sam, and we have PJ Corral. We're going to build our defense and O-line. Hey, bless you, man. You know, you're a fan. But there's a reason why Sam Darnold is in Carolina, and when you do move on from him, because they are going to move on from him, you probably won't see Sam. This will probably be the end.
Look, Sam's still a young guy, you know, and it's not, you know, out of the question that he could get better. He's played better since he got back from injury. You know, they said he put in a lot of work while he was hurt, and that's great. I'm not betting my future on Sam Darnold.
No,
absolutely not. Or Matt Corral.
No. Emphasis says there was a historic bidding war for an alleged predator, talking about Deshaun Watson, who doesn't win consistently. True, but people think teams won't pay double for a quiet dude from Florida who can win with bums at wide receiver. Right.
A dude who I mean, everyone loves. You know, like everybody who you know, you don't hear anything bad about Lamar off the field. Period. People love Lamar Jackson. Fans love Lamar Jackson. You know, he always says the right thing. And granted, listen, that was Deshaun Watson as well. So I mean, you don't really know these guys, but that the bidding war he's talking about was after you found out the real Deshaun Watson, right? So nothing like that has happened with Lamar. So you're looking at it like, man, this is just a great guy, a great leader, and a great player.
Yeah. Going back to the Panthers for a second, one session wants to know, what if the Panthers win a playoff game? Should they keep Sam Darnold? He's still pretty young.
No, I mean, look, this all depends on who they end up playing ultimately and how they look. But like, listen, they've made the playoffs with a losing record before. They won the division at 7-8-1. It was in 2014, right? And they won a playoff game that year. They beat the Cardinals because the Cardinals were 6-0 with Carson Palmer. They were 5-3 with Drew Stanton because Carson Palmer got hurt. And then Drew Stanton got hurt. And Ryan Lindley had to start the playoff game, and they beat Ryan Lindley. Great. They lost by 2 touchdowns the next week. And that was a team that had their quarterback. Yeah, you know? Yeah. So, no, just winning a playoff game, like it matters how it happens. It matters who it is. I don't really, unless they make a deep playoff run and Sam is playing lights out, I don't see a scenario where I'm like, man, bring Sam back.
Hey, Lonnie, what link are you talking about? It says drop the link so we can squeal. Who's we, first of all? And what link are you talking about? Or are you talking to somebody else in the chat? Mr. J said, who is going to be the QB for the Saints and Bucks in the next 2 years? Are the Falcons going to find an OC to utilize Pitts in London, Drake London? I like our chances of winning the NFC South for a couple of years.
But, you know, Mr. J, and I understand that, you know, being optimistic and looking around and saying these teams are bad. The Panthers have the exact same questions.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're in this bubble right now where they're all rallying around Steve Wilks. That's not going to carry over to next season, right? They have They have, decent running backs. They have one good wide receiver. They have a good young O-line, but they lack depth everywhere, and they don't have a quarterback you can rely on. So all the other teams in the NFC South are looking at Carolina and saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, and this isn't true, Shug. He says Ravens fans don't love Lamar. Yes, they do. You're always going to have some set of fans. Look, Shug likes to look at the negative in everything, right? He's going to seek out the negative ones. You're going to find some trolls here and there that say some nonsense, but Ravens fans love Lamar, and you'll find that out next year if he's not on that team. Watch how empty that stadium looks. We'll find out how much they love or hate him then. And this is a very important question that needs to be answered. Noah says, "Hey, Jose, is our bet still on for the Lions making it to the playoffs before Carolina?" Oh, yes, my friend. Oh, yes, it is. It is on. It's not looking good for you. Sharon Wright says, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming through to the live stream, which is about to end here soon, okay? Because we have a hard rule of hashtag no 2 hours, and we are dangerously close to 2 hours. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to read a couple more comments. If you want to keep this party going, if you like the content, go to patreon.com/LBHTShow. Let me ask you guys something, because 133 people in here, all right? Do you have $3 in your pocket? It is the holidays, okay? I know you guys got some, some of you guys got some money, got some gift cards, okay? You got a little something in your pocket right now, okay? If you're thinking about going to buy a lottery ticket, well, look, I can't fault you for buying a lottery ticket, okay? Because you can win something there. But if you're thinking about ordering some Grubhub, it's the holidays, right? New Year's is around the corner. You're kind of just chilling. You took some days off of work, and you're just feeling lazy. And you don't want to go anywhere. I want to order some Grubhub. I want to order some pizza, and tip that driver because the holidays. Feeling a little bit cheerful. Listen, man, hop in your car. Go pick up the food yourself and use that extra $10 to $20, okay, for a Patreon membership, okay? You only need $3. $3 will get you to our overtime show. It will get you to our Discord. And, if we're being real about it, it's not look, that's a one-time fee for Discord. We don't kick anybody out of the Discord. Once you're in, okay? So, and that's another thing, too. Anybody that signed up before and has kind of fallen off, don't be a stranger. Come through to the Discord. We're building a community over there. All right. So really a $3 entry fee for the Discord. We have lots of fun in there, and you're going to love the overtime show if you're new. Okay. Couple more and we are out of here. Lonnie, Lonnie's new here. So I'm gonna bring up some more of his comments here. He says, "You trying to say Carolina don't got depth, man? You crazy. That's why you don't want to drop the link. The link is so people can get on it and talk. Tell me your team, and I will know why you're a hater." Well, B's a Panthers fan. First of all, Lonnie, thank you for joining the live stream. You're new here. Brian's a Panthers fan. I'm a Ravens fan, in case you don't know. And we don't drop links in here because it's our show, not your show.
and I just want you to sit back, relax for a second, and think about why Carolina has all this talent. They've got the guy at quarterback. They've got depth. They've got the coach, and they have maybe 8 wins at best. You tell me that. You tell me why they're under 500 if there ain't no problems in Carolina. You tell me that.
Yeah. So I mean,
tell me why they couldn't win games with their previous coach, Matt Rule, if they've got all the talent.
Also, I mean, look, we're picking them to win. I think they'll win out and they'll win a division, but that's still with a losing record. That's not good. Doesn't make them a good team. It's a nice little story. It's good for the fans, and you can enjoy the moment, but it's a short-lived moment. And B is a Panthers fan, and that's why he's looking long-term. He doesn't want this short-term. We call it fast food. This is fast food. This is instant gratification, but no good calories coming from that. No real nutrients come from that. Okay, and next year you go out there. What if next year you go out there with Sam Darnold? Let me ask you this, Lonnie. What if you go out there next year with Sam Darnold and you bring in Steve Wilkes, right? It feels good for the first couple games, and you look like an 8-9 team again. You look bad, but now it's for real, right? You're locked in on this coach and this quarterback. Now what? Now what are you saying? Are you good with that, or are you saying, man, get him the hell out of here, right? So I mean, that's what you got to think about, right? Don't get caught up in the moment and don't get too emotional about it. And no, we ain't dropping no link, man. You definitely new here. We don't do that. We don't do call-ins. You unless you are a guest, you're not getting on this show.
You ain't new here. Nobody does that. Why would I invite some random person that I'd never heard of from the chat onto the show? No, man.
Mr. J says the Eagles have the Saints first round pick. Dennis Allen is likely fired. I don't think he's fired.
No, they say he's going to be back.
Saints defense is getting older. Tampa Bay is going to turn Tom Brady's turning into dust soon. They may have to revamp the O-line like KC did. I don't think they have to revamp it. You guys got hurt, right? They're not dead. They're just hurt. They'll come back, right? They come back healthy. They get a younger quarterback. I don't think they're going anywhere, man. I don't. I think you guys better be focused on getting the quarterback and building the best team possible next year. That's what I think. Emphasis says, a couple more and we're gone. Are there any receivers you guys think Carolina could or should pick up after they draft in the later rounds after they get a QB?
Man, receiver is tough this year. Most people think it's kind of a weaker class. I'm kind of with Mr. J on this. I think that Terrace Marshall has done enough to earn a shot at being that second guy in his third year. I don't have 100% faith in Terrace, but I think he's done enough this season to say, you know what, we're going to give him a shot to keep on developing and see if he can fill that role. And then I would prefer that, after they get the quarterback, they lock in on making sure they have that rock solid O-line. I think they need to get another center in there, get some depth on the O-line, get another edge rusher. And, maybe you start looking at some more depth in the secondary as well, because we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah. Coach says, now y'all see why my bot kicks people out for all cap. Listen, we'll bring it back, but we had a bad experience with Mike Bot. God.
I thought Lonnie found his way in here. What's up, Mike?
It's Lonnie.
Hold on 1 second.
Enzo Uchiha, thanks for coming through. Okay. I see the Naruto reference there. It says Tyler Beatty terminated his contract. Practice squad. Right. Okay. Yeah, we hear you. Daddy. Is that our assistant producer for Ring King Podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just jumped in here. I just want to show people I got links.
Yeah. He's got a link.
I got a link.
What's going on, Click One?
Click One, what's up, man? Yes, we remember you, Click One. How can we forget you? Wow. All right. Now that we have you, Mikey, we're getting out of here. Do not go anywhere. Okay. Mikey always gets lost on his road to the overtime show after we end the show. Don't get lost. You stay right there. Don't you move. All right. We are out of here. Guys, thank you so much. We have less than a minute to end this before hashtag no 2 hours is terminated. All right. Patreon.com/LBHT show. That's where we're going to continue this conversation. Go ahead and sign up. You got $3 in your pocket. I know you do, Lonnie. All right. We're getting out of here. Thank you so much. B, happy birthday. We're going to continue this party. All right. Are you ready?
Ready.
He is ready. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you next time. Peace.